Okay, so good morning once again, everyone, no? So, let us continue our discussion for lease transactions, no? And this time, we will try to apply all the concepts that we have learned from our first three discussion videos, no? Applying it to different scenarios which relates to lease transactions, okay? So, let us begin, okay? So, for our first problem here, okay, this is an exercise problem or a scenario simulation wherein what if in a lease transaction there is a guaranteed residual value, okay? So it is an important concept because this is common, no, very common in every lease transaction wherein we really encounter this concept of residual value, no? So let us begin, okay? So let us first simulate what a lessee would do in this particular lease transaction, no? In this particular lease transaction, or how do we account this in the perspective of the lessee, okay? So first, di ba, if we can still remember, no? In the lessee's perspective, okay, in the lessee's perspective, we need to account two things. That is the right of use asset, okay, and your lease liability, di ba? So, we need to know in this particular scenario what composes our right of use asset and what composes our lease liability. So, number one, okay, di ba, as what we have already learned, the first component of each account is the rental payment. But it should be discounted to its present value because it is a payment in the future. Di ba? And we need to account it today. So, we'll use present value. Okay? So, under the right of use asset, because it is a cost that you need to pay for you to gain the right to use the asset, it is considered as an asset. Di ba? The rental payment under the right of use asset. It is a lease liability because it is a required payment in the future. The lessee obliges itself to pay the lease or the regular lease per lease agreement in the future. So it is your lease liability. So, your right of use asset, again, we need to discount it at its present value. So we are to compute that at 1 million multiplied by the present value factor of an ordinary annuity, because it is a multiple cash flow. So we'll use ordinary annuity. And also, not in advance because there is no advance payment nor the payment is every January 1. Di ba? So, it is an ordinary annuity only. So the present value that is computed as 1 million multiplied by your present value factor at the implicit rate of 16%. Di ba? So that is 3.2743. So if we are to compute that, that is 1 million multiplied by 3.2743. So we have 3,274,300. Your number one component, the rental. 3,274,300. Your right of use asset, okay, and your lease liability, okay. The next thing that we need to consider here in this particular scenario is your residual value, no? Again, in this exercise, we are considering it as part of our right of use asset and lease liability because it is guaranteed. Meaning, the lessee obliges itself per terms of the lease na it will pay the residual value at the end of the lease term. So it becomes a cost, okay, to the lessee. Okay, it becomes a cost. That is why it is added to our right of use asset. And because it is still to be paid in the future, not today, that is part of your lease liability. The concept is, if it is to be paid now, then it is your right of use asset but not your lease liability because obviously it is already paid. But that is not the case in this scenario, okay? Again, because it is a future payment, we need to discount it at its present value. Diba? So the residual value, we have 474 and 60 pesos or 474,060 pesos multiplied by your present value of 1, which is 0.4761. Okay, 0.4761. Why present value of 1? Because again, this is not a multiple cash flow. This is one-time payment only. Diba? Present value of 1. So, the present value, that is 474,060 multiplied by 4,761. So, we have 225,700. Let us just round this off, no? 200. The same with your lease liability, no? Why? Again, because this is your liability in the future. That is why it is added. Okay? So, I guess there are no other data. The right of use asset here, that is 3274, 300 plus your 225, 200. So, we have, 474,060 multiplied by 0.4761. That is not 225,200 but rather 225,700. Okay, let me correct that ha. Mali yung naisulat. So that is 225,700, not 225,200. Okay? So 225,700. So your total right of use asset, that is 3274,300 plus 225,700. We have 3,500,000 right of use asset. The same with your lease liability. Okay? If we are to record that on January 1, 2020, then that would be recorded as right of use asset, debit, then credit, lease liability at 3,500,000. Plain and simple, no? Plain and simple. That is number 1, no? Number 2, how are we going to measure it subsequently? Diba? So on 12/31, or how are we going to record this subsequently? So that is on 12/31/2020. First, your right of use asset. Again, we need to, as per required by IFRS 16, we need to depreciate this. The problem with that is what will be the basis? Is it the lease term or the life? Obviously, it is the lease term. Because the point is, the shorter between the lease term and the life because there is no transfer of ownership. Why? It is stated here on the equipment will, diba? The equipment will revert to the lessor. No substantial transfer of ownership. And that the lease term is only 5 years over the life, which is 10 years. So that is only 15%, not substantial. So we'll use the lease term, whichever is shorter. On the other hand, no, if the scenario is, if there is a substantial transfer of ownership, then obviously we will use the life. Okay? That is the guiding criteria, di ba? So, we'll need to compute for depreciation over the lease term, which is computed as your depreciable amount divided by the life. In this case, the lease term. Depreciable amount that is computed as your cost, which is this 3,500,000, yeah? Basic concept of depreciation, cost minus residual value equals depreciable amount. Divided by life, that is your depreciation. Which in this case, we will not use life, but rather the lease term. So, our computation would be 3,500,000 na right of use asset, the cost, less your residual value of 474 and 60 pesos. We have a depreciable amount of 3,025,940. Diba? Divide that by the lease term of 5 years, we have an annual depreciation of 605,188. Okay? The entry for this on 12/31/2020, that would be a debit to your depreciation expense, credit your accumulated depreciation. Okay? Credit your accumulated depreciation at 605,188. And this entry will be uniform throughout the lease term. Yeah? This entry will be uniform throughout the lease term. So in 2021, December, this is your entry. 2022, and so on. Okay? Next, going to subsequently recognize our lease liability. Again, we'll use the effective interest method. Di ba? So let's make one. No? Let's make the effective interest method. So let's start with date, the rental, the interest, the applicable principal payment, di ba? And your carrying amount. Okay? Initial date, that is January 1, 2020. Subsequent date, 12/31/2020, 12/31/2021, 12/31/2022, 2023, and last date 2024, end of the lease, no? And then we have the rental, 1,000,000, 1,000,000, 1,000,000, 1,000,000, and 1,000,000. Carrying amount of your lease liability, same with your right of use asset, that is 3,500,000. Diba? So let's begin, no? So 3,500,000 multiplied by 16%, the implicit rate, that is 560,000. Deduct that from your rental, we have 440,000. Deduct that to your carrying amount, we have 3,060,000. Yeah? Times 0.16 again, 489,600 minus 1,000, we have 510,400. Deduct that from the carrying amount, so we have 2,549,600. multiplied by 0.16, 407,936 minus, deduct that from the rental, the applicable principal is 0.64. Deduct that to the beginning balance of your carrying amount. So we have 1,957,536 multiplied by 0.16 again. Wait, let's go. Let's check muna ha. 2,549,600 less 5,920,64. So that is 1,957,536 multiplied by 16%. So that is 313,206. Let's round this off, no? Less by a rental payment of 1 million, we have 686,794. Deduct to our carrying amount of 1,957,536, we have 1,270,742. Okay? 742 carrying amount on December 31, 2023. In the last amortization schedule, okay, so that is 1,270,742 multiplied by 16%, we have 203,319, rounded off na yan siya, minus or deduct that from your principal or rental payment rather, that is 681. Diba? So, the carrying amount at the end of the year or at the end of the lease term rather on 2024, that is 1,270,742 less the principal of 796,681. So we have 474,061. Now, if you may notice, no? If you may notice, this amount is your what? This is your residual value, no? Do not mind the 1 peso difference because that is just due to the rounding off difference. But basically, this is your residual value, which remains to your, okay, which remains to your outstanding balance of the lease liability at the end of the lease term. Diba? Yan yung point dyan. Because this is to be paid additionally. Diba? Additionally. Yung payment of the guaranteed residual value. Okay? The guaranteed residual value. Because if we are to precisely prepare our amortization schedule, the last payment on December 31, 2024 is not only 1 million, di ba? But rather, this is 1,474,060. Di ba? Because there is a guaranteed residual value payment. Making your carrying amount at the end of the lease term at exactly 0. Di ba? That is 0. So, yan lang yung amortization schedule natin dyan. And yung explanation, baka nagtaka kayo, bakit may remaining balance? That pertains to your residual value guaranteed. Okay? So, on December 31, 2020, our entry would basically be a debit to your lease liability, debit to your interest expense, credit to your cash or for the rental payment, which is yung lease liability applicable sa principal column natin per amortization. That is 440. The interest expense, that is 560. Ito, interest column. Diba? And your cash, itong rental. Diba? So, that would be 1 million. Okay? That would be 1 million. Now, in 2021, same pa rin yung entry. This will be your lease liability, interest expense. This is your cash. Lease liability, interest expense, cash. Lease liability, interest expense, cash. Okay? And so on. No? Now, tumiretso na tayo sa 2024, which is the end of the lease term. Okay? 12/31/2024. Okay? Obviously, in the part of the lessee, we need to record the final depreciation for the right of use asset, which is to debit your depreciation expense, credit your accumulated depreciation. Diba? Same pa rin yung amount at 605,188. After that entry, obviously, the total amount of your accumulated depreciation would equal to your depreciable amount, di ba? Which is at 3,025,940. Because obviously, yung gagawin lang naman dyan, kung dito, pagkuha natin sa depreciation, nag-divide tayo, kung kukunin naman natin yung accumulated depreciation at the end of the lease term, we'll have to multiply upwards naman. So that is 605,188 multiplied by 5 years. Diba? So that will be, that is the total of your accumulated depreciation. Thereby, making it na, in concept, at the end of the lease term, if we started with cost, okay? If we started with cost of 3,500,000, then we have accumulated depreciation of 3,025,940. The carrying amount of the right of use asset at the end of the lease term would be equivalent to your residual value. Diba? Pumputin nyo, diba? Para ma-check nyo kung tama ba. But basically, that is equal to your residual value. So, after this entry for your right of use asset, okay? Then, after making the entry for the final rental payment, which is a debit to your lease liability, interest expense, then cash, lease liability of 796,681, interest expense of 203,319, and cash of 1 million. After these two entry, we'll recognize the transfer of asset. Okay? By debiting your lease liability, okay, at remaining amount 474, okay, 060, okay, debiting your accumulated depreciation, de-recognize na because itatransfer na natin yung right of use asset kasi nga nag-revert siya sa lessor. De-recognize your accumulated depreciation na which is totaling to 3,025,940. Diba? De-recognize your right of use asset. Kasi sasauli na nga natin yung equipment. Which is at 3,500,000. Diba? Which is at 3,500,000. Okay? No? So, kung titingnan natin, yung entry natin, di ba, balanse na. No? Saan napunta yung guaranteed residual value nito? Na yung ginawa lang naman natin is simply yung nag-turnover lang tayo ng asset pabalik sa lessor. No? The point of the agreement kasi is that the lessor guarantees the residual value at 474,060. So the point is, if it is still at 474,060, the residual value, okay, or the fair market value, which in this case is hindi siya binigay, kung equal pa rin siya dyan, no payment shall be made because nakuha yung agreement natin. Diba? However, if let's say the fair market value of this particular asset is lower than the guaranteed residual value of 474,060 pesos, then the lessee is required to pay the difference. Because yun nga, we are guaranteeing the value of the asset at 474,060 pesos. That is why if we look at again the scenario, no, what if daw the fair value of the equipment is only 300,000? So that means na if we are guaranteeing it, okay, if we are giving the guarantee na dapat 4,060,000 lang yan siya, then the fair market value is 300,000. We need to pay for the difference of 174,060 pesos. Okay? Which, if we are to recognize that as an entry, we will debit loss on finance lease, okay? Loss on finance lease, credit, cash at 174,060. Ngayon, if let's say the fair market value is higher than the guaranteed residual value of 474,060, then no entry is required. Why? Because yun nga, na-hit yung target natin na dapat yung residual value should equal, or the residual value guaranteed is 474,060 pesos. So wala tayong payment, wala tayong obligation kasi nga, sakto lang naman. In fact, kumbaga kung isipin natin, advantage on the part of the lessor. So no entry is made. Okay, no entry is made. So that is for the books of the lessor. If we have a guaranteed residual value. Okay, now lessee rather, no? That is on the lessee's perspective. Okay? Now, in the books of the lessor, na naman tayo ngayon. Okay? In the books of the lessor, the first thing that we need to do here or to consider is whether if this lease transaction ba is that are we going to present this or recognize this as an operating lease or a finance lease? Kung hit ba yung criteria natin, di ba? So the point is, mayroon bang substantial transfer of ownership? Di ba? Na-determine na natin yan kanina na wala. Kasi nga, number 1, the equipment will revert to the lessor. Number 2, the lease term is only 50% of the life of the asset. So the point is, under the lessor's accounting, this is an operating lease. Okay? This is an operating lease. Which, if operating lease ito, okay, if this is an operating lease, the lessor will just have to recognize the rental as a debit to cash and credit to rental income. Okay? Debit to cash, credit to rental income. Which, let's say, example lang, no? First, schedule lang tayo. On 12/31/2020, debit cash, credit, rent, income lang. Yung entry ng lessor. Kasi nga, operating lease ito. At 1 million. Okay? So that is for scenario number 1 with guaranteed residual value. Okay? So I hope na may nakuha kayong konting learning dito, no? Kahit short lang na explanation to, okay? Okay. So let's go for example or scenario number 2 now. In this scenario, okay, or in this illustration, what if in the lease transaction, there is a restoration cost, no, that is required to the lessee at the end of the lease term, okay? So again, okay, let's start with, how will the lessee recognize this per accounting, no? So again, the first step, determine your right of use asset and your lease liability. So in this illustration, the important data that we need to consider is the rental payment, okay? In this problem also, no, meron dito yung data na binigay sa atin na what if there is a leasehold improvement and there is a restoration cost, no? Leasehold improvement, 600,000, restoration cost, 644, and your rental payment at 1 million, no? So let us start with the basic component, which is the rental, which is, di ba, discounted at present value. So that would be 1 million multiplied by the present value of an ordinary annuity or annuity in advance. Now, let's look at this problem, no? January 1, yung lease term nagsimula. Payable to the lessor every December 31 of each year. Di ba? Every December 31. Walang binigay sa atin na nagsasabi na nagbigay tayo ng advance payment, nor it was paid or it is to be paid every January 1, di ba? So the point is, okay? The point is, ang gagamitin natin dito is ordinary annuity. Okay? Ordinary annuity. So, 1 million multiplied by the present value factor of an ordinary annuity of 7.606. The present value of the rental payment, that is 1 million multiplied by 7.606. So that is 7,606,000. This is your component for your right of use asset, and this is your component for your lease liability. Okay? Next, how are we going to treat this leasehold improvement, 600,000? Okay? Leasehold improvement is a different asset. It is not your right of use asset, nor it is to be paid to the lessor. So, that will not form part to your lease liability. Klaro yun siya, ha? It is a separate asset, part of your property, plant, and equipment line items. Leasehold improvements. Okay, leasehold improvements. Different recognition, different depreciation. Hindi rin yan siya kasali sa right of use depreciation natin. Klaro yun. Diba? Next is itong restoration cost. Okay? Itong restoration cost, which is at 644,000. Diba? 644,000. Now, itong restoration cost natin dito is that this is a one-time expense, diba? To be paid in the future after 15 years. Okay? After 15 years. So the point is, we need to recognize this. Okay? Basta restoration cost, if you remember the concept, it is part of your right of use asset. Okay? It is part of your right of use asset because again, that is cost entailed in owning the right to use that particular building. Okay? Particular building. So, and number 2, okay? Because it is to be paid in the future pa after 15 years, we need to discount it at its present value. Which, sad to note, hindi siya binigay dito. But, hindi yan siya problema because we already know how to compute it. Diba? How to compute it. Using the implicit rate of 10%. Okay? So, if we are to compute that, 1.10 divided by, okay, the term is 15 years. So, medyo mahaba-habang equals to. Okay, so that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15. Okay, so that is 0.239. Okay, 0.239. So, our restoration cost that is computed as 644,000 multiplied by the present value factor of 1, which is 0.2393 at 15 periods. Diba? Again, let's check kung tama ba na 1.1 divided by 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 0.2393. Okay? So that is compute your right of use asset, that is 644,000 multiplied by 0.2393. So we have 154,110. Okay? 154,110. Okay? So restoration cost 154,110. So your right of use asset, okay, this will be 7606 plus 154,110. Okay? So that is 7,760,110. Okay, so that is 7,760,110. Diba? So if we are to record that, okay, on January 1, 2020, our debit would be right of use asset at 7,760,110. Credit your lease liability, okay, at 7,606,000. Okay? Again na, Yung restoration cost is not part of your lease liability because it is not to be paid to the lessor. Okay? That is an expense on your part, diba? Or not an expense, but that is your cost. Diba? That is your cost. So, that is only included to your right of use asset. But still, because it is still to be paid in the future, although that is not your lease liability, we need to recognize a certain type of liability to represent our future payment. Okay, to represent our future payment. Which is, if we are to compute that, that would be estimated, or if we are to account that, that would be estimated restoration liability at 154,110. Okay? So that is your restoration cost. Diba? So, dito na nagkakaiba yung right of use asset natin at yung lease liability. Okay? Yung leasehold improvements naman, okay, which is itong 600,000. Let's say, example lang, no, kasi hindi binigay kung kailan ito ginawa talaga. So let's just say na at the start of the year, meron na ding or natapos na rin yung leasehold improvements. Okay? Yung entry lang natin dyan, simply is to debit leasehold improvements, okay, credit cash at 600,000. Diba? On December 31, 2020, subsequent recognition, we need to amortize first the right, depreciate first the right of use asset. Which in this case, wala namang residual value, so the depreciable amount basically is equal to your cost. And the basis, okay, because there is no transfer of ownership, and if we look at this is not more than 75% of the life because 15 years, or am I correct? So let's check, no? 15 lease term divided by 20, so that is only 75%, not more than. Diba? So no substantial transfer of ownership, kung baga. Okay? That is only 75, not more than. More than 75% kasi yung gauge natin dyan most of the time. So only 75% man. So, no substantial transfer of ownership. Okay? So, the point is, the depreciation is computed as 7,760,110 cost of the right of use asset divided by the lease term of 15 years. Okay? The annual depreciation, okay, the annual depreciation is, let's just round this off, so that is 517,341. Okay? 517,341, which is recorded as a debit to your depreciation expense, right of use asset, credit accumulated depreciation. 517,341. Okay? 517. Let's just klaruhin na lang natin. That is 517,341. So debit depreciation expense, credit accumulated depreciation. 517,341. Okay? And for your leasehold improvement, we also need to depreciate it because it is a property, plant, and equipment line item. Then, it is to be computed as 600,000 divided by, obviously, the life of the leasehold improvement, which is 5 years. Now, 600,000 divided by 5, that is 120,000. Okay? Accumulated depreciation, 120,000. Diba? Medyo madali lang. Actually, yung medyo komplikado lang dito is that you should know how are we going to treat the restoration cost. Again, it is not part of the lease liability. Okay? And number 2, itong leasehold improvement, we will not follow the concept kung shorter between the lease term and the life because obviously, ang leasehold improvement, up to the lease term lang talaga yan siya, which up to the lease term, or no, not up to the lease term, but we will use the life of the asset. Okay, we will use the life of the asset because it is owned by the lessee. Okay, it is owned by the lessee, not by the lessor. Okay, so divide it by, or the basis would be its life. Okay. So that is for this example, no? Okay, this is for... So let's go to another scenario. Okay, let us go to another scenario. Okay, ito. In this scenario, okay, in this example, what if there is a variable rental payment? Okay? Variable rental payment. Meaning, pag sinabi natin variable rental payment, hindi uniform yung rental payment. It may be na in the first 2 years, iba yung rental natin. The next after, iba rin yun. Okay? Whether ang basis ba is depende kung operation based ba yung rental or volume based per output, no? So, depende. Basta the point is, hindi fix yung rental. That is variable rental payment. So, in this particular example, okay, the first 2 years, yung rental is 200,000, okay? And the next 3 years, 300,000. Both payable at the end of each year, okay? The lessee paid an initial direct cost of 100,000. Okay? And also made, okay, leasehold improvement amounting to 250,000. Okay? The present value, medyo mabait na yung problem kasi binigyan na tayo ng present value ng restoration cost, that is 50,000. Okay? So, implicit rate is 8%. Okay? So, what is our right of use asset in this particular problem? And what is our lease liability? Okay? Right of use asset and lease liability. Okay? Okay? Basic component again, the rental payment. Present value of the rental payment. Okay, now. Ito, medyo kakaiba yung computation natin dito sa present value of the rental payment because again, variable yung rental. So, let us consider first the rental in the first 2 years. Okay, the rental in the first 2 years, which is at 200,000. So again, because multiple cash flow ito, we will use ordinary annuity for 2 periods. That is 1.5 2,783. Di ba? At 8% for 2 periods. So, 200,000 annually multiplied by your present value factor of 1,783. So, this is the first rental payment, no? So, that is times 1.783. 356,600. Okay. The next 3 years, this is 300,000. We will use the present value of an ordinary annuity at 8% for 3 periods na. Okay? That is 2.577. Okay, that is 2.577. So if we are to compute that is 300,000 times 2.577. Okay? So that is 773,100. Now, ito yung medyo komplikado dito. Kasi, we are discounting this at the present period. So, let's say ngayon, di ba? And then, this rental payment will start after 2 years pa kasi nga, in the 3rd year. Di ba? In the 3rd year siya mag-start. So, 3rd year, 4th year, and 5th year. Okay? So, the point is, if we are discounting it 2 years prior from its start, aside from computing it at its present value using an ordinary annuity, we also need to discount it further, okay, for 2 periods kasi nga we are discounting it 2 years prior it will start. Okay? But this time, kasi nga one time, kumbaga kung isipin natin, one time na lang itong mangyayari, so we will not use ordinary annuity but present value of 1. Okay? Present value of 1. So, after computing your present value for 3 periods using ordinary annuity, further discount it using present value of 1, which is 0.857. Okay? So, the final present value of the 3 years or the after 3 years rental payment is 773,100 multiplied by 0.857. So, that is 662,547. Again, we'll round this off, ha? So, the total present value here is that ito, yung applicable for the 300,000 plus your your applicable present value to the 200,000 the first 2 years, which is 356,600. So, the total present value is 1,019,147. Okay? So, yan yung variable rental payment. So, the right of use asset, the first component is ito. 1,019,147. 1,019,147. Okay? So, klaro yun siya, ha? So, the next data that we need to consider as given in the problem. Initial direct cost, which is 100,000. Okay? This is your rental, the initial direct cost, which is 100,000. How are we going to treat this? How are we going to treat this again? Because it is part of the cost of the lessee of owning the right to use the asset. This is included as part of your right of use asset, and because this is not to be paid to the lessor, okay, this is not to be, or rather, this is not to be paid to the lessor but to other parties, and that it is paid now, this is just added to your right of use asset, okay, not to your lease liability. Okay, so that is add 100,000 initial direct cost. Again, leasehold improvement is a separate asset item, no? Leasehold improvement. Then the next item is your restoration cost, which in this case is medyo mabait yung problem kasi sinabi na niya na present value na ito. Okay? So, present value of your restoration cost, so no need to compute na for the present value, 50,000. So again, that is not part of your lease liability. So I think that would, okay? Ito na yun lahat. Okay? That would be all, no? So, let's compute, no? 1,019,147 plus 100,000 initial direct cost plus restoration cost. So, the total right of use asset is 1,169,147. Okay? While your lease liability, that is only 1,019,147. Okay? Entry. Journal entry natin. On January 1, 2020. Okay? Debit right of use asset. Debit also your initial direct costs. Okay? Or lease cost. Okay? Your initial direct costs. Then, your right of use asset. Mali. Wait. Debit your right of use asset. Okay? Your right of use asset at 1,169,147. Okay? Credit your lease liability at 1,019,147. Okay? Then, credit cash representing the payment of your initial direct costs. 100,000. Diba? And then, your estimated restoration liability, which is at 50,000. So that will be your entry. Okay, that will be your entry. And then, for your leasehold improvement, debit leasehold improvement credit cash at kano nga yun? That is 250,000. So that is your entry, no? Okay. Again, if we are to depreciate this, no substantial transfer of ownership, then yung term is 5 years over life of the building of 20 years. So obviously, hindi talaga substantial yung paggamit. So, we will depreciate this on the basis of the lease term with no residual value kasi nga hindi binigay. Okay? While yung leasehold improvement natin, this will be depreciated over its life. Okay? Over its life. Which ang assumption natin dito, kasi nga hindi ibinigay ng problem, that is equivalent to the least term. Okay? It's equivalent to the least term. So, okay? That is for this illustration. Now, actually, ang point lang naman dito is, yung point of consideration natin is, alam ba natin paano yung accounting treatment if variable rental payment. Diba? Last na lang pala, no? If we are to prepare for the amortization table for this, for the lease liability, no? Medyo magiging iba rin ito kasi nga variable yung rental natin, di ba? So obviously, if we are to prepare it, okay? Let's just prepare the table. Interest, principal, carrying amount. Okay? So obviously, if we are to prepare this, no? On January 1, 2020, our lease liability carrying amount is ito, 1,019,147, di ba? So that is 1,019,147. At the end of each year, December 31, 2020, the rental is 200,000. At the end of 2021, the rental is still 200,000. So dito na magkakaiba. Okay? On 12/31/2022, which is the third year, start of the 300,000 na. Hindi na siya 200. Okay? Then, 2023, 300,000 pa rin. Okay? Then, 2024, end of the lease term, 300,000. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na medyo magiging komplikado siya kasi paiba-iba yung rental payment. Diba? Obviously, same pa rin yung computation natin lahat dito. That is, yung carrying amount to get your interest expense, multiply it by, let's say this is 8%. Okay? Then the rental minus the interest equals your principal, then carrying amount less your principal, new carrying amount. Okay? I specifically focus your attention to this part because yun nga, baka kasi later on, variable interest rento, pero you continued your rental here pagdating sa amortization natin. Which is, magiging mali talaga yung computation nyo. Okay? Remember na, yung consideration is first 2 years 200, the next 3 years is 300,000. Okay? So, yun. That is for this problem. So, let's continue with the next scenario. Okay, so next problem natin, okay? Ito, in this problem, okay, ang nangyari dito is that there is a modification of terms. Meaning, nagsimula tayo sa ganitong agreement, then by some reason, the lessee and the lessor agreed to change substantially the terms of the agreement. Okay, the terms of the agreement. So now, the point lang nito is that if there is a change, a major change, considered na siya na as a major modification of the lease term, then we need to remeasure, okay? We need to remeasure the lease liability and the right of use asset. Kasi nga, there is a major modification of terms. Okay? So, ito, yung modification ng term dito is extension of the lease. Okay? Extension of the lease term. So, let's try to analyze this problem. Okay? Initially, okay, initially in the books of the lessee, okay, di ba, we have a rental of 600,000. The original lease term is 5 years. Then the useful life is 20 years. Okay, implicit rate is 9%. Present value factor of an ordinary annuity is at 3.890. So our right of use asset, okay, and our lease liability initially was measured at 600,000 multiplied by the present value factor of 3.890. Diba? So that is 2,334,000. Kasi nga, because there are no other figures or data that can affect our right of use asset and lease liability, ito lang yung recorded amount natin. Diba? So, on 12/31, okay, on January 1 rather, 2020, this is recorded as right of use asset, okay, credit lease liability at 2,334. Okay? Now, depreciation, obviously, yung gagamitin natin, depreciation for the right of use asset is the shorter between the lease term and the life because there is no substantial transfer of ownership. Diba? So, on 12/31/2020, depreciation basically is computed as 233 or 2,334,000, okay, 2,334,000 divided by 5 years. So that is 2,334 divided by 5. We have 466,800. So if we are to record that, again, plain and simple, debit, depreciation, expense, credit, accumulated, depreciation. Diba? 466,800. Okay? For our amortization schedule of the lease liability, obviously, okay, we'll prepare for the 5 years amortization. Okay? Carrying amount, okay? So January 1, 2020, 12/31, 2020. And okay. So kasi nga if we look at this, no, at the beginning of 2023, kumbaga, the list was already modified. So, we'll just have to stop our amortization on December 31, 2022. Okay? So, the carrying amount that is 2,334,000. The rental is 600,000. 600,000. Interest, so implicit rate is 12%. So times 0.12, so we have 280 and 80 pesos minus 600,000 2,014,080 multiplied by 0.12. Wait. 2,334 times 0.12. Okay. 2,014,080 multiplied by 0.12. That is 241,690 rounded off minus, so 358,310 1,655,770 692 less 401,308 plus, okay, 1,254,462. Okay? So the point that we are trying to make here, no, ganito, that because there is a modification of terms, okay, modification of terms, we need to remeasure the lease liability and the right of use asset per changes in the lease term. That is why we need to make the amortization schedule, or we need to determine the carrying amount up to the latest amortization schedule prior to your adjustment. So that is, ang important factor dito why we make this amortization schedule is to determine the carrying amount prior to your modification on January 1, 2023. So that is 1,254,462. Okay? After knowing that, we also need to determine the carrying amount of the right of use asset prior to adjustment, which is simply computed as your cost of the right of use asset less your accumulated depreciation, di ba? Which, yun nga, kasi after 3 years yung modification, obviously, 3 years din yung accumulated depreciation. If this is your annual depreciation, 466,800, just simply multiply it by 3 to get your accumulated depreciation. So that is 466,800 times 3. So the accumulated depreciation is 1,400,400 pesos. Diba? So the carrying amount of your right of use asset prior to adjustment is computed as the cost minus your accumulated depreciation. So that would be 933,600. Okay, 933,600. So now, we have determined the carrying amount. Ba? Now, let us remeasure. Okay? The standard dictates, okay, IFRS 16 dictates that if we are to remeasure a lease liability and that the right of use asset needs to conform with your lease liability, okay, the remaining rental payment should be discounted, okay, meaning computed at its present value using the new implicit rate. Remember that, ha? We are still to compute, because yun nga, we are to remeasure the liability, we need to compute for a new present value that will represent our lease liability using the new implicit rate, not the old. Okay, not the old. So the point is, okay, if we have already paid 3 years. Diba? Kaya after 3 years nga. So, 2 years na yung remaining na lang na rental payment natin at 600,000. Diba? So, 2 years. So, the first computation of the present value remeasured liability is to use the existing muna na rate, which is, or na rental payment rather, which is at 600,000. Multiply that by the present value of an ordinary annuity at the remaining period, which is at 2 years. Diba? 2 years. So, and again, using the new implicit rate. So, in this particular case, that is 12%. So, what we will use is the present value of an ordinary annuity of 1 at 12% for 2 period, which is 1.690. Okay? So, 600,000 multiplied by 1.690. So, that is 1,014,000. That is for the old, no? Actually, yung computation lang natin dito is parang variable rate, variable rental rate kasi because this will be the first, no? Then we will have the second computation. Applying the new rental payment. Okay? Applying the new rental payment for the extended term. Okay? For the extended term. Which in this case, that is 800,000. To be received for 5 years. So we will use present value of an ordinary annuity at 12% for 5 periods. Which is, in this particular example, that is 3.605. Okay? That is 3.605. Okay? So, 800,000 multiplied by 3.605. So, that is 2,884,000. Okay, that is 2,884,000. Again, because this cash flow is to be received pa after 2 years, kasi nga, we remeasured 3 years after the original, di ba? So, may remaining pa na 2 years. This 800,000 is to be received pa after 2 years. So, again, we need to further rediscount this at the present value of 1 for 2 periods. Okay? The present value of 1 for 2 periods. Which, in this case, ang bait talaga ng problem, binigay na sa atin, present value of 1 12% for 2 periods, that is 0.797. So, the final present value of the extended term and rental payment, that is 2,884 multiplied by 0.797. So that is 2,298,548. So we're done with the data. So the revised or the remeasured liability, that is this, okay? This 2,098,548 applicable for the new rental payment with the extended term plus the remaining 1,014,000 applicable to the old rate up to the final term of the original lease. So, ang total niyan, obviously, plus 1,014,000, that is 3,312,548. So, this is our remeasured liability. Okay, lease liability. So, now, Okay? Our right of use asset, originally, okay, it has a carrying amount of 933,600, di ba? While our lease liability, we have 1254462. But now, we need to present our lease liability at the revised value of 331,254,8. Diba? So the point is, ito yung existing measurement natin kasi ito yung remaining account or the carrying amount prior to remeasurement. But ito yung required natin, yung 3,312,548. We need to add, okay? Which is in the amount of 462 20 million, 2,058,086 pesos. Okay? If we are to recognize this increase, debit your right of use asset because again, the standard dictates na the right of use asset should also be remeasured equal to the changes of the lease liability. So this is your debit to your right of use asset. Then credit lease liability at 20,058,086 pesos. So after remeasurement, your lease liability, the value is 3,312,548, while your right of use asset, pagkasabihin nyo 3,312,548 din na, hindi. Kasi yung carrying amount ng right of use asset is ito lang, 933,600. Yung dinagdag lang natin is itong 2,058,086 pesos. Diba? So the right of use asset has a carrying amount of 2,991,686. Ito. The right of use asset is 2,991,686. Your lease liability is 331,254,8. Diba? So that is how we make, we analyze, okay, that is how we analyze our, if there is an extended term with a new rental payment. Okay? So that is for this problem. Okay?